In this video, we are going to configure this OpenVPN and using my virtual machine. I'm going to establish the VPN connection from this machine to this OpenVPN server. So let's get to it. As a first step, I'm going to open a web browser from host machine to remote access to this OpenVPN server to make some changes. Make sure you type the admin at the end. Then you can see the admin login logo here. And then log in as an OpenVPN user. Alright, so now we are in the configuration page of OpenVPN server. Alright, so let's activate the license first. So go to the configuration and click activation. We are going to pass the activation key here. So let's get the activation key from OpenVPN homepage. Then I'm going to log in. So make sure you click the access server. Right, so once you get there, let's go to subscription. And then click view. So you can see this free license for 2 connection. So you don't need to pay for this. 2 connection is for free. So let's click view. And then this is a subscription key. So click copy button. Right? And then go back to the OpenVPN page and then paste it. And then click activate button. Alright, so we successfully activate the license. That's good. As a next step, let's create a user. So let's go to the user management and then click the user permission link. Right, at this moment, we have only one user, which is OpenVPN. This is admin user. So I'm going to create just a regular user, which is Nobu is my username, and then click this button. Then we can set up the password. Right, so that's it. And then click save setting. Then you can see this update running server because this setting was not applied yet. So once you click this button, the change was applied to this server. So now you can see the username here. But the most important thing, we need to reset the password of OpenVPN user. So let's do this. Make sure this password is strong enough. And then click save setting. The same way, update running server. Alright, so the user configuration has been done. Right, in this way, you can create as many users as you want, but you can create only 2 connections at the same time. So be aware of that. Okay, so let's go to the network setting. Click on this link. As you can see, this is a private IP address. It's not going to work to establish the VPN connection. So we need to either public IP address or hostname. So let's check my network diagram. I set this hostname to this VPN server. So let's copy this and paste here like this. And I'm going to update this change. Right, then apply this change to the running server. Now we kicked out from the system because once we change the host name, the system is required to restart the server. Alright, so that's okay. We need to wait a bit. If we click on this, you get some kind of weird web interface, but no worry about it because in the middle of the restarting. So wait, maybe the 1 minute or 2. Alright, so after the few minutes, let's update this page. Then you get this page again. So let's click show detail and visit. Click the visit website page. Alright, so now you can log in. So type the new password. And then you should be able to log in like this. So let's go to VPN setting page. Click on this link. Basically, we don't need to change anything, but in my case, I changed the network mask to 24. And this one also 24, right? And then this is not the right in my case because we need to set IP address of VPC. So let's check on the network diagram. Our network is 10.0.0.0/16. This is the CIDR address. So let's go back here and then type, right? So I type 10.0.0.0/16. This is my VPC network. So the other part is a DNS. So I'm going to enable it. And then we can set the primary DNS and secondary DNS. Let's go back to the network diagram. We set up the Active Directory server. And then this server also including the DNS server. The IP address is 10.0.50.10. So let's copy that. So this is going to be the primary DNS for me. And then the default DNS on VPC network is secondary. So let's go back to the page. So I paste the DNS address of my Active Directory server and then paste this VPC default IP address, which is 10.0.0.2, right? So that's it. Save these changes and then updating running server, right? Okay, so after a few minutes, when we refresh the page, we should be able to log in like this. So we don't touch anymore this setting. So let's go to the virtual machine to establish the VPN connection. Alright, so this is my virtual machine Windows 11. Okay, so I'm going to log in to the portal page. To do this, open the browser first. Right, and then type the host name of the VPN server. Alright, so this time we just type the host name, not /admin. Simply hit enter. Right, so this is a self-signed certificate. That's no problem. So click advanced and open this page. Right, so this time we can see the user login, not the admin login. This page we are going to log in as the user we created, which is in my case, Nobu. Right, and type the password. Right, so this is the first time to log in. You can see this user interface. The system is automatically pick up the OS you're running. In my case, I'm running the Windows 11. So just click this link. Right, so MSI file is automatically downloaded. And then actually we got this notification. Let's check with that. Right, so this is because we are downloading from the unsafe page. So, but this is a reset it up, so don't worry about it. We can download of this, just click keep. And then show more, and then keep anyway. Right, so download has been done. So let's click open file. Right, after that, we can see the installation wizard. So let's go through with that. Click next and accept the license agreement and click next and install. Yes. Very, very simple the way to install the client. Right, and click yes. Right, so installation has been done. And we don't need a browser, let's close. After the installation, OpenVPN is automatically started. So let's click agree. And the configuration already set for you. Okay, so before we set up the VPN connection, let's check the network setting. Right, so this is the result of the IP config. At this moment, I have one IP address, which is this. The other one is nothing. So basically, I have only one IP address at this moment. So let's connect to the VPN connection. To do this, we need to type the password. Alright, so it seems to be working. If you scroll down a bit, you can see the IP address is assigned to your machine. And then this is the IP address of VPN server. And the port number is this. You can see all the detail here. So let's run the IP config one more time. Okay, so now you can see this part. You can see that this IP address is assigned by VPN server, which you can see on this page. So you can see the two DNS server. One is from Active Directory. The other one is from the default DNS or VPC. Right? It seems to be all good. Okay, so let's go back to the network diagram. So now it's my virtual machine Windows 11 established a VPN connection to my VPC. Right? So this machine should be able to access to the inside of the VPC, which is a private EC2 instance. So let's remote log in to the web server. In this case, I copy this FQDN and back to the VPN client. Open the remote desktop. Right, and then paste the FQDN. So let's change the display size. Right, and then click connect. Now asking the username and the password, we are going to type the user credential of the domain user. Right, and click OK. Alright, so now we are in the private EC2 instance. Alright, so now we successfully remote access to the private EC2 instance from the VPN client. Okay, so let's go back to the network diagram. Now we are able to establish the VPN connection. So basically, we don't need to open port 22. So let's remove that. Alright, so go back to the Amazon management page and then click the OpenVPN and then click action and security and then change security group link. Click on that. Alright, so we are going to remove the remote access to the Linux, which including a port 22. So and save that. Right. So open this EC2 instance and then go to the security tab. As you can see, only this port are open. So port 22 was already closed. So let's update the network diagram. So I'm going to remove that. Alright, so just one tips. I don't want to delete this VPN server by accident. So let's go to the management console and select the VPN server and then click action, instance setting, and then select the change termination protection. So we are going to enable this option. Right. Alright. Now we are trying to delete this VPN server. To do this, instance and terminate instance. Right? And then click terminate. Now we got some kind of message. We cannot terminate because this termination protection is on. So actually we protect this machine to terminate it by accident. Anyway, we set up the OpenVPN server and establish the VPN connection from my virtual machine. And at the end, we remote access from my virtual machine to the private EC2 instance. Right? So that's pretty good.